Greetings, everybody. And this is our second podcast of the night,
Woo!
but it's an awesome one because we are talking about a very big movie that just came out that we both saw recently. What's the name of that movie, Vanessa?
Thor 2, The Dark World.
Right. This is the Damsels in Debate podcast focusing on Thor, The Dark World. Mm-hmm. So, in case you haven't figured it out, we're going to spoil the hell out of this movie. So, don't listen now if you don't want to know any plot points. And I'm talking about the entire movie, even the after credits shit, all that stuff.
Point by point.
Point by point.
Yeah.
So, you've been forewarned. So, off to Asgard we go.
like going down the yellow brick road.
Yeah, exactly.
Asgard does remind me of Oz a little bit now that I think about it.
Asgard is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I want to live at Asgard.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm going to kind of let you steer the wheel here.
I'm all over the page with my notes and everything, but my very first note is Loki is the star of this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, not because of my infatuation with Tom Hiddleston or Loki or anything, but I really think that he makes the movie more interesting than what it could have been.
Yeah. He's definitely, he's, Tom Hiddleston plays the character great, and, you're just waiting for him to get out of that cage.
Yeah.
All right, but let's kind of rein it in a bit here. Okay. So this is obviously the second Thor movie, but it's after the Avengers. It's got a different director. I did not know who directed, so I had to look it up. His name is Alan Taylor. The first one was directed by Kenneth Branagh, Gilderoy Lockhart.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And this guy Alan Taylor is just directed mainly TV stuff, so I'm not sure if this is his first movie, but it's one of his first, I would say. But anyway, okay, now we knew that you and me, we were definitely going to like the movie.
Right.
Because we love the Avengers and all the other Marvel movies and stuff.
Well, don't get me wrong, I have some negative things about the movie too.
Yeah. But let's just comb through slowly here. So starting out, let me think.
Starting out with the intro, really, I think. Like the narrative with... Odin, his narrative or something?
Yeah. Well, what I first off was going to say, did the movie just, in general, did it live up to your expectations? Did it exceed them? What?
I would say it just made it to my expectations.
Okay.
Like, it did not exceed it, but it was very close. Like, it was very close to not meeting my expectations. But it did meet my expectations, like with the ending and stuff.
B minus?
Yeah, around there.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's some things that disappointed me that was just like, well,
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Because I figured we'll start off right there. So, anyway, let's start with the good.
Okay.
What was, besides Loki, let's go over some of the stuff we really enjoyed about this movie.
I enjoyed the comedy in the movie. I mean, juxtaposed with the sad events that happen, and it goes, some parts are like, well, that wasn't really placed well, but most of it was so funny. I mean, the main thing is just I think it's called anachronism, how you have Thor, who's kind of like, he has his hammer and stuff, he doesn't belong in the modern world.
Right.
And when he goes to visit somebody in their house, he hangs the hammer on the key rack or something, or the hat rack.
Coat rack.
Yeah. So just the little things like that, that make us laugh.
Now you didn't think that there was too much humor?
In some parts, after a huge event that I was freaking out about, which we'll bring up later, but after that, they went back to I
think that's when they went back to Earth, didn't they?
They went back to Earth, and they said they had some comedy. I think that was when the coat rack thing happened.
Yeah,
I was like,
and what's his name didn't have any pants
I don't want to laugh right now.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a little ill-timed. Wait, now I know obviously this huge dramatic thing just happened and they want to bring the audience back, but I just thought that was a little weird, that part.
Yeah, I would say there's a little too much comedy, not a whole lot. After I watch a movie, like a movie, like a big deal movie like this, I usually will skim reviews. And it seems like everybody across the board is saying the same thing about the comedy.
Yeah. Well, you must remember that a lot of the comedy came from Loki, and he is actually, he's the god of mischief, so he's not going to be always foreboding and serious. Right. He is a goofball, he's mischievous. Yep. So that I can defend him with that. But yeah, I do think it had a lot more humor than it should have. I think that was one of my critiques. That's why I didn't enjoy it as much.
Okay, yeah.
Because actually, here's dropping a bomb here, but I liked Loki more in Avengers than I did, and I think he was more sexy in Avengers than he was in this movie. I do like his charm and him being funny, but just the drama in Avengers really
he wasn't
drew me
as
to
powerful and exactly.
Yeah.
So okay. Right, all right. So I agree about the comedy, but
what else?
Wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
What about the effects?
The effects, they didn't bother me. I thought it was really good. I thought they were good.
Most of them I really liked. I didn't see this in 3D. Did you see them?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not regular.
So
I'm not paying for that.
So can't comment on the 3D, but most of the effects I really liked. But I will say there were a couple times when they were in Asgard, when they were in, I can't remember the name of it. The thing that transports you to another realm.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The Rainbow Road or whatever it is.
that room that
just made me think of Mario Kart, the Rainbow Road. I hate this road.
But in there, when they were talking and the background was moving, there were a couple parts where the green screen was just, it didn't mesh well for me. But on the whole, I thought it was fine. But there were a couple parts where I noticed it and it took me out of the scene for a second.
Oh, another positive though is Idris Elba.
Woo, boy!
Obviously, I'm still Tom Hiddleston, but he's a sexy man too, man. And he got more lines in this movie.
He took his helmet off.
Yeah,
that part where Thor was hanging out drinking a beer or something like that, and then what's his name? Heimdall, whatever.
I don't
remember.
Anyway,
when he comes and sits and talks to him, I'm like, to be at that table.
And I tell you what, even though I'm a girl and it was a nice scene and all, it was totally not necessary to have the shirtless Chris Hemsworth scene, but it was nice. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, but it was if I'm viewing this, if I were a guy viewing this, be really?
You know what I have to say about that?
What?
Or my counter argument for that one is we don't need to see women's cleavage in their uniforms.
That's true.
Ever.
In Avengers, it always bugs me how they have when Scarlett Johansson is talking to Loki, they have it her ass is right and eye level.
Exactly.
This is not necessary. So
right.
Both sides. I definitely,
totally.
No, so, I don't need this at all.
Yeah. Leave that scene in there. And he worked hard for that body, so let him show it off.
That's true.
Whoa,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, I can see how guys would complain about it.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
What a marked improvement, I should say, because you could tell in this movie it was his natural hair, as opposed to the first movie, and oh my god, he was so attractive.
Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. Sorry, folks, but there's a lot of attractive men in this movie.
Yeah.
So
quite a lot.
That
Anthony Hopkins, man.
Yeah. A lot of attractive women too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway. Anyway.
I must say the intro was confusing to me. When they were explaining the story of the ether and stuff like that, I was like, what? So this is the thing we're avoiding? And then
I was like, wait, I have to pay attention.
I'm like, okay, wait.
Yeah,
that's why I kind of want to see it again to get the backstory. Again with that.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you, I don't know what my deal was. I drank a lot of water the day I went to go see this movie, and I went to the bathroom before the movie started, and then we were hanging out watching the preview. I was sitting there playing with my phone while the previews were coming on.
They showed 18 previews.
I know. And then I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes into the movie, I had to go to the bathroom again. But I was like, no, I can't leave now. And then, because it's a Marvel movie, you have to wait all the way to the end of the credits. Oh, I had to pee so badly. So that was always sitting in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay, all right, let's wrap it up. Come on. Really gotta go to the bathroom. So then in a scene like that where they're doing a lot of explaining, I'm like, what?
Yeah. My favorite scene in this whole movie. Well, actually, they were kind of back-to-back scenes, but when Loki was in his prison and his mom was talking to him and stuff, and she's like, well, if he's not your father, am I not your mother? And he's like, no, and she says something and he regrets it, but then she kind of disappears because she was doing her thing. But then later on, when he is told that she got killed, how he kind of the furniture gets destroyed.
Yeah.
But then later on, when Thor goes to speak to him and he's like, oh brother, he's like, oh, lose the facade, and he's like, the room is torn apart and he's just broken because he loved his mom.
His bloody foot.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, look at him. He's just so sad. Like, he has feelings.
Speaking of his mom, Renee Russo, what about her fighting skills?
Oh my gosh, that was unexpected. I was like,
this is awesome.
Yeah. Like, kick-ass lady, man.
Yeah. I figured that either her or Odin or Anthony Hopkins, I figured that one of them was going to die. I thought it would be Odin, but it was her. So, but
is
her
Odin
fighting,
dead or is Odin alive? That's what I'm confused about.
Yeah,
with that ending.
Well,
but no, let's backpedal here. Because like I said, my notes are all over the place. But my main disappointment with this movie was the villain. Like, he was not a very good villain for me. He was kind of lackluster.
Yeah, he was very bland.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't like. It did live up to my expectations, like with the whole Loki and Thor thing and everything. But as a villain, like, it could have been so much better if it had a really kick-ass villain and stuff. But
yeah, that's one thing. Now thinking about it really quickly, all the villains are. Like, I mean, Loki in the Avengers was great.
Yeah.
But also, like, I mean, he's a bad guy, but not really. I mean, like, he's killed people and stuff, but you're always
problems, Yeah, you feel
like,
bad for him. You pity him sometimes.
I wouldn't say, like, oh, he's the greatest villain ever, because he's not, like, I don't want him dead,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's not Joffrey.
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah, this villain, Malekith or whatever, I agree with you there.
I thought it was very convenient that she just happened to find the one gap that led her to the ether.
Yeah,
like about all those, like, the alignment stuff, you could end up anywhere. She just happens to be in the hiding place where they hid the ether, and she's like, "Oh, what's this?" And like,
yeah, exactly.
I thought it was a little too convenient, but like, hey, it's a movie. I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah, I'll go with it. And then I also liked how most of the events took place not on Earth, in other areas, because that took care of the my issue that I was afraid I was going to have with all these movies about, just call the Avengers, and then the stuff that did happen in London, it all happened like in
very
15
quickly.
Minutes. So there's no way like Tony Stark could have flew over there or anything.
That's a good point. They covered that well about not having to involve everybody else.
I was happy about that. I also like the little Chris Evans Captain America
cameo.
cameo.
One of my friends posted on Facebook saying, saw Thor 2, liked it. Chris Evans was amazing.
That's funny.
So, because, a person who hadn't seen it would be like, what?
Wait, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. Let's see here. Oh, and Stan Lee, right?
Oh,
his appearance, like, can I have my shoe back?
Yeah,
that was funny.
His little cameos are always cute in there. Yeah, so I'm glad that they covered that. Some of the realm jumping at the end was getting a little like, okay,
annoying, Okay, let's go to the main thing here.
Okay.
Loki dying, like, in the middle of the movie. I seriously turned to Rob, and he had like this big smirk on his face. I was like, I hate this movie. I was like, if he stays dead, this movie is dead to me. Like, I was getting so angry. You have no idea. Like, you would have been laughing next to me because I'm like, I was like huffing and puffing. But in a way, like, deep inside, I knew, like, there's no way they killed him off. There's no way. Like, they love him too much. There's something going on, or they'll bring him back to life or something.
Yeah, which I will say what do you call that power that he's got, where he can, like, make it look like he's in places when he's not? I don't know what that is called.
Hologram?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
something like that.
That's kind of getting played out a little bit to me. So when he did get stabbed, I'm like, I don't really think he's dead. Like, that's gonna always be my problem. Like, if Loki ever does get killed off, I'm gonna be like, nah, I don't really think he's dead.
Yeah,
because it's always
a
like
question,
a really convenient plot device that I'm getting a little tired of.
But that, again, is what I was saying, and right after that, we go back to Earth and we're laughing, and I want to go like, stop laughing! Loki's dead! Stop laughing!
This is a big thing. Yeah, exactly. Although putting the hammer on the door
that was
cute.
funny. He's like, all right.
Yeah. So, okay, with that being said, then, talking about Loki dying or whatever, the last scene of the movie before the credits start, so it's revealed that Odin is actually Loki.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that at least that little bit sets up for the third Thor movie, where it'll be Loki's ruling over Asgard, and then Thor is either going to take back the throne or something with that, I'm guessing.
He'll somehow become aware of it.
Yeah. And so, but like, I don't know if, Like, I don't know. I don't feel like Odin's dead just because it seems weird that he would just die off camera like that.
Well, the thing is, when the guard came and said, like, we found one body, and Odin was like, Loki. Like, he could have been like, oh, the body was Loki, or he could have been like, Loki, like, you're Loki. Like, he could have recognized him or something. Right,
yeah,
you don't know. They kind of left it, and of course, the guard looked up and kind of like, oh, that's Loki.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
He could be aware of it, he could not.
Yeah.
They really left a lot of things open with that.
Yeah. When it ended, I was like, Jesus.
It's now like, okay, Thor's like, oh, thank you, Father. So he's going to live with the love of his life. And Loki was Odin. So Odin will probably think that Thor abandoned them or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Or is he like back in the Odin sleep or whatever?
Yeah. Or you just don't know. There's so many possibilities.
Yeah. So I think that's a setup for the third movie.
Obviously, yes.
So yeah, that's interesting.
But thank God, though, because I was like... Like, they better do that. I mean, granted, when they did the soldier, like, okay, he's alive. He's alive. Calm down.
Speaking of his death, that guy, the cursed or whatever, I just call him Mr. Echo from Lost. I don't remember his real name. The actor who played the guy who
died to sacrifice himself and became really strong.
Yeah, that guy. Wouldn't you love to see a fight between him and the Hulk?
Oh yeah,
I thought he looked really good actually. Like because you could tell like a lot of that was makeup and stuff, and I thought he looked really good. But yeah, I thought of that. Like I forget when I thought of that, but I'm like, man, him and the Hulk. Well, that'd be a long fight.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah,
it makes you think of that that whole scene with Thor I think it was at the beginning with him and the rock monster or whatever. That was all at the end of one of the previews. Like they showed that whole clip of him going like, okay, and it does that. And he's like, anyone else? Like that whole clip. That's what I'm saying. Like, well, they could have. Why did they save that from the movie? It was funny.
Huh.
I didn't. You totally called it because you had said that. Oh, I hope they don't do like a triangle with that one girl, and they didn't like go deep into it. But Odin was saying like, oh, you were supposed to marry her, and she kind of looked over.
And she's all like, oh, you want to get a translator and stuff.
Yeah, I was like, come on.
Now, okay. As it's probably obvious to everybody, but we've never read the Thor comics, so we're just talking from the movies. So don't kill us. But and obviously I like Thor with Jane, Natalie Portman's character. But I guess at some point he is with Sif, the other the woman. But I feel like we're not going to see these characters after Natalie Portman is dead of old age. You know what I mean? So like, okay, obviously Thor's going to outlive her and all that stuff. But, like, I don't know. I really don't like the fact that, the only other, besides Thor's mom, the only other female Asgardian is just like a love interest kind of thing, or a possible love interest. Or, like, oh, well, she doesn't like Natalie Portman because, I just, that kind of thing kind of bugs me because... Can you just have a female character who kicks ass and is just not one of the guys, but just, just an awesome character and doesn't have to be connected to somebody through romantic feelings?
What is that rule called that a movie has to achieve where the
test?
Yeah, it's a test.
The Bechdel...
I just listened to it. Bechdel test or something like that.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, like this definitely would not pass, obviously. Like, oh, got to depend on the man or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't convincing either because in the first movie, like they were friends and stuff. There was not any type of hint that they were betrothed or anything.
No, nothing like
why
that.
Why did they have to mention it?
I know that it's part of the comics and all that crap, but I just resent that.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all, to be honest. I like the Sif character, but I like her without this new romantic thing that she's got going on. So that's my feeling on that.
Yeah. And what was weird is that even though he chose like Jane at the end, I didn't see much romance between him and Jane, like a lot of friction or whatever, that not friction, but the chemistry between him and Jane. I didn't see that much.
No, they didn't really have a whole lot of time for much. I
think that one scene when she was in Asgard and they were by the water or something like that, and she's like, I like how you explain things, or whatever she said. Yeah. So the little moment there, but other than that, like I'm not seeing the sizzling chemistry going on. That's just me.
Yeah. Well, actually, that kind of leads into let's start talking about these after credits scenes.
Okay.
So the first one, what is that called? The credits that aren't the real credits, like the pre-credits or something.
Yeah, I don't
know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they show scenes and the
yeah,
people,
and then they show their one after credit scene. Then they show the full credits, and then there's a scene after that. So the first one was with the Collector.
Yeah. Which I've never heard of because I didn't read the comics, and so I don't know.
But that was Benicio del Toro, right? It looked like him. Oh, all right. Well, I'll check later, but I'm pretty sure that was him. It sounded like him. Sure, whatever. No, but yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, are we in like a Tim Burton movie now? Like, what's going on? There's all that weird, stuff going on in the background, and he looked crazy, and I'm like, wow. What?
Would have been cool if it was Ron Perlman who was the Collector. Kind of like in Pacific Rim.
With those boots.
Yeah. What the hell is my shoe?
Yeah. So now, did you find out? Did you have somebody explain it to you or anything about what was going on? Okay.
I did not.
So I did. I went with a friend and I was like, what the hell is this shit?
You said it just like that?
Yeah. So what it is this guy, I guess, collects like rare things or whatever from, I don't know, the galaxy or galaxies, I should say.
The Milky Way.
But anyway, the point of that scene was because who was it? It was Sif and then the other dude whose name I don't remember. But they were bringing the ether, but it's like a gem or something now.
Yeah, they put it in something, yeah.
Right. And so what it is the ether, and then we also find out that the Tesseract from, the Avengers, those two they're 2 of 6 infinity gems, which I don't know what controls what, but these things control different things. Like I don't know how specific the things are that they control, but they control big ass shit, like stuff that's really important. And so they're infinity gems, and there's 6 altogether, and they go on this glove, which is called the Infinity Gauntlet, and that is something that Thanos, the guy from the post credit scene in the Avengers,
oh, the red face guy,
right? Yeah, exactly. His name is Thanos, and that I think he's either going after that, or he has the glove and wants to get all the gems or something. Anyway, the point is, if he gets it, he's going to be extremely powerful. Yeah.
That makes me think of the Fifth Element, saying like have, the 4 pieces and then the fifth thing, and then you can, destroy evil. And
kind of, yeah, exactly. But so I'm guessing that's a setup for Avengers 3, right? Because now this next Avengers movie is the Age of Ultron, so Ultron is the bad guy, I'm thinking.
I'm so glad that they're going to keep this going, man.
It is so epic, isn't it?
Because they have Captain America, they're doing that one.
Yeah.
I think they're done with Iron Man.
I think so.
But he'll probably be in some of the other movies. So that's cool that they're.
It's so
maybe another Hulk movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's just they've never done anything like this before, and I think it's really interesting. And even the movies, the ones that I don't like as much, I still like all of them, and I think it's very. It's awesome. I think it's great.
That's how they're all connected.
Yeah. And this, I'm not sure how, but this ties into the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy movie. That I really don't know anything about. I know some actors that are going to be in it.
First time hearing about it for me.
Oh, okay. So. Well, yeah, that's the next big thing on the horizon or whatever. But I'm not sure how it ties into the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I just thought of another thing that gauntlet glove or whatever reminds me of, because in Sailor Moon in the first season they have shut up they have the rainbow crystals that are hidden inside people, and they have to they die and they get their rainbow crystals, and all these crystals at the very end, it turns out because at first the bad people, the evil people, thought that they can control the world by having all these crystals, but it turns out at the very end the princess is revealed, which is, Sailor Moon, obviously, and all the crystals fly over to her, and they form the silver crystal, which she destroys everybody with. Oh. It's like, so all those crystals, when they're together, form this ultimate silver weapon. Okay. So kind of like what this is saying. So it's kind of a similar idea in a lot of movies, I'm sure. Like, you have to have all the pieces to have the ultimate weapon.
The stones are in me.
That's what I said. Like, kind of like the Fifth Element. They're in me. She needs your help and your love.
All right, nerding out here. Yeah, whatever. I mean, we're doing a podcast about Thor, so pretty nerdy already. But anyway, so that's the basic gist of that. I don't really want to read more into it because I just wanted the basic idea.
So is the Collector like working for Thanos then? Because he said like 2 down, 3 to go, whatever he says. Yeah,
I don't think so, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not sure on that one. And now you saw that scene, but you didn't see the scene.
No,
after
I
that.
wanted to stay there, but everybody, because I was on a double date, but everybody wanted to leave. So I'm like, okay, well, I hope there's not a second after credits. I'm gonna be very angry. But yeah. So apparently there was. Yeah, and I didn't get to see it. So
I actually texted my friend because she had seen it before me, and I said, for sure there's something all the way at the end because I really had to go to the bathroom. She's like, yes. I'm like, okay.
I gotta go.
So yeah, I sat there and I didn't want to chance it going in the middle, although I probably could have. But anyway, not a real big scene, but what it is you got Jane. She's back at her place in London, and she's eating or something, and then there's all a real loud thunder and lightning going on right outside her window. So she runs out there, and there's like a
terrace?
Terrace, yeah, whatever. and so Thor comes. So it's him coming back to Earth. And so they do their slow motion hug and kiss and stuff. So it's a cute little thing, yeah. And then right after that, it cuts back to the parking lot at the place where she first went and, found the ether and stuff. So it's that parking lot, and you see a flock of birds fly by, and that big monster from that like ice place, the one that was like galloping around. You see that thing? He's galloping through the parking lot, and he jumps on a car, and he's trying to bite the birds that are flying.
So he got left on Earth he's
running around London. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, it was cute. It was. I mean, it wasn't anything super crucial, but it was cute. I liked it.
So no Loki though.
No Loki. No. And at first I was like, well, they should have put that, in the second part. But then now that I was thinking about it, well, they did the same thing with the Avengers. Because they had the Thanos part, right at the semi-end, and then all the way at the very end is when they had the shawarma part.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to do it that way. But yeah, it was cute. It wasn't anything super critical, but it was cute. So if you see it again,
I'll look on YouTube because I bet somebody recorded it.
Oh,
people do that.
Don't give them the views. Just go see it again.
No. I probably will, honestly.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna catch all the stuff that we're talking about that we missed. Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah. Because now that I know what happens, like I'm gonna be watching Loki a little more closely. Like, wait, okay, so he is a hologram.
Because it's like when. Like, did he actually go to that other place? And then at some point there he did it? Or what? Like, yeah, there's so much. And, of course, it'll all be filled in the next movie. But still, as of right now, like, what happened? I don't know.
I remember when they go over there and he, like, stabs Thor. I'm thinking, like, what an asshole, but then it turns out, like, that, it was all stage.
I knew it was staged. Because, they had to have, like, an in.
Yeah.
You know what I did like, too? I liked how you had these elves, right? And who are like, mythological, creatures and stuff from fairylands and stuff. But they're using like laser guns and, driving spaceships and stuff. The bad elves in the movie, the elves.
The main villains?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking okay. Yeah, I got you.
I'm like, why are
That's
you not getting this?
How much of a lasting impression they had on me.
I liked how you had the two, like, the mystical, fantastical stuff, and then the sci-fi stuff in this nice little hybrid.
Yeah.
I do agree that the villain was bland and stuff, but I thought they looked cool.
Yeah.
And one little minor quip I had that when they're all in London and they're sticking those things in the ground, and I think Jane is with Dr. Selvig, and they're trying to run away from the elves because the elves are chasing after them, holding their guns. So,
but not shooting.
Shoot him. Yeah. That was kind of, and they were always like 10 steps away from them. So it wasn't like they were, a block away or anything like that. So that was because it happened like 2 or 3 times. So it just stuck out to me a little bit. Yeah, you do
notice stuff like that. Just like the girl running away, like, why is she running with him and she's being kidnapped?
But like they were holding guns and so, I mean, whatever, that was just something I noticed. But anyway, what else? I would not be able to tell you or hum it to you right now, the music of the movie, but I double checked. It's not the same person who did both, the music for this one and the first one, but I really like the music that they use. It's similar to the one that was in the first movie.
Fantastical.
Yeah, it's very fantastical, and it fits. It's like this fits in Asgard. So I like the music in the movie
more than Pacific Rim soundtrack.
No, I like the Pacific Rim soundtrack, but this, I mean, I'm only just talking about like the music when they're doing their long zooms over Asgard, and it's, I can't do it for you because I don't remember how it goes.
I can't think of it either. I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah,
but I thought it was very fitting. So like, if I was to buy one of those songs, I would just find that one song and buy it. But yeah, it was good. I liked it. I think it's Brian Tyler is the guy who did the soundtrack. So what else? You got anything else?
I mean, look, let's hear. Stan Lee. Can I have my shoe back? That was funny. He's in like every single movie.
Yeah,
it's so awesome that they put him in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the whole like, okay, so Odin is unaware that that Thor went away, or Loki rules Asgard now as Odin or as himself. Like,
I would think he would keep up this charade as Odin. You know what I find funny too is also like in the first movie, Odin is very practical and wants to avoid war at all costs and stuff like that. And then in this movie, he's kind of like the opposite.
Yeah, they switch roles.
So yeah, that was. I mean, and also, because his wife died, so that makes sense that he would be a little, a little out there with that kind of thing.
He's like the guy on The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, just kill everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wait, I cannot believe I forgot about this. But how kick-ass was Idris Elba when he ran down the Rainbow Bridge and ran up the ramp and he took down that thing.
Yeah, he sensed the invisible thing. Yeah. And I was like, oh, look at him go.
I was like, yes.
And then, of course, he was like, look, and then there's like 5 more.
Shit.
Crap.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to get all those. But yeah, I thought that was a cool scene. I enjoyed it.
I was a little confused with the fact that in Thor, when Thor destroys the Rainbow Road, it's like, I know it has a name, but I just keep calling it
the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah, the Rainbow Bridge, I think. Yeah. Well, because Loki's like, what are you doing? You'll never see her again. But they repaired it that quickly. Like,
it looks like they repaired the bridge, but like the actual gateway thing to like other places doesn't seem to be working all that well.
Well, he went to Earth pretty easily and back and stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's a little. I'll admit there's some stuff that I'm hazy on. Yeah. So, and there might be obvious answers that I'm just missing too. So, but yeah, I do agree with that.
Oh, I didn't. I mentioned about how Loki was so sad about his mom, but I tell you what, Tom Hiddleston has that way of looking so vulnerable, like with his eyes.
It's because he has those big eyes.
Yeah, his big blue eyes, just like the unshed tears or something. Like he did in Avengers, where when they were fighting at the end, and Thor's like, "Look what you've done! Look at the destruction." He's like, "It's too late,"
Oh, right.
And when he's just like, and then in Avengers when he said, like, your family, come home. He's like, I don't have a home or something like that. He just he has that look of, that's why you keep coming back, just loving Loki, because you're like, I want to help you and hug you and just, let me make you a better person. I'll give you love. So it's just like, he wants to please somebody. Like, he wants somebody, like his parents to love him and stuff. He wants to rule and have people who love him as a ruler and stuff.
I wonder, like, what would he be like as a ruler? Because he wants this so bad, he wants all this power. But it's like, okay, once you finally get it, how are you going to be?
Yeah, just lays around and eat grapes all day.
Right, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I wonder how that'll go.
The Palmetto fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Because it's all been about him trying to get that throne.
Yeah, it's like, once you get it, what are you going to do?
Is he going to be like Joffrey? Or is he going
to yeah, I don't know. But I guess
that's like
we'll
3
see.
references of Game of Thrones.
Well, but it's funny. This guy, Alan Taylor, he directed a bunch of episodes of Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's well, and then the circle is complete.
Yeah. We brought it around. Damn it, there was something else I was going to say, and it flew out of my head as soon as it came in. One thing I did like, when they were at like the library or whatever that building was in London, and they're running through, and Jane's like, get away from the window, get out of there. And the guy's like, it's Thor outside. And they're all filming with their cameras and stuff. That was kind of cute.
Like wielding the hammer and everything.
Yeah, because everybody knows what it is now.
I think they had said how, like Thor and them, they live longer and stuff, and they have powers and stuff, but they're not technically gods because they can die because they're not immortal or
What's
anything.
That called?
But
demigod?
but they people worship them as gods, like the people from Norway.
Right.
But they're not, like I think said, they're not actually gods because they are mortal because they can die, just like the mom died and stuff like that. So
yeah, exactly.
Thor's power comes from his hammer, not so much from him. But it seemed that Loki, because he did that thing with the chair, seems like, so they must have some inner power.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely way stronger than than he.
Oh yeah, well he got his, Thor got his ass beat by
the
Hulk. So
exactly.
Well, Loki did too. Actually, they both did.
Loki definitely did.
So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I just wish they had more serious, like, I'm gonna take over everything Loki. Like, they had the goofy Loki and then the sad Loki, and then him like being, like tricky, with the whole like smirk, because he took over. Yeah, mischievous Loki. But they didn't really have like I still love that scene in Avengers when they're playing that classical music and he's in regular clothes and he goes down and grabs that guy and does the thing with the eye and stuff. I'm like, it's such a badass in that movie. So like,
yeah. Well, I think we'll probably see a good deal of that in the third Thor movie, because now he's not going to be in the Avengers 2,
right?
So
that's what they're putting out there.
Well, but actually, in a way, it makes sense, because as of right now, Thor's going to be all concerned with Earth, so that leaves Asgard for Loki to do whatever
and then
he wants.
the Avengers 2 happens on Earth, and
and then like, I mean, I'm not sure what movies are coming. Like, obviously the next Captain America movie is coming out, but then between Captain America and Avengers 2, is there another movie coming out?
I don't think so.
Right. So like at the end of Avengers 2 could be Idris Elba's character talking to Thor and be like, yo, you need to get back home.
Yeah.
That
so would tie it all together. Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea, but I'm saying like it could be something like that too. So I think definitely in the third Thor movie you'll get your wish.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the whole, I enjoyed the movie. It met my expectations.
Yeah.
I was definitely souped for it, not maybe as much as you were. But I enjoyed it. There were, a couple little things. It was a little choppy in some parts, and definitely some things I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But I don't think you were totally meant to. Like, another thing, and obviously they're okay because of the after credit scene, but like his whole little crew, like Sif and all them, like, because they were all doing things and they would hold to a certain point, until the guards came and overpowered them or whatever. Same thing with Idris Elba's character, but like you didn't see what happened to them afterwards. So it's like, is everything forgotten because they saved everybody or what? That's what it seemed like. So that's what I'm guessing. It's funny, the guy who played the big one with like the red beard and hair, he was actually on Dexter, not this final season, but the season before that, and he was a really, really bad guy.
Oh yeah.
And he's clean shaven and stuff, and he's got these really gorgeous eyes, and he is actually really tall. But like, I remember watching Dexter, and I'm like, I know that guy. Who is that? And then I figured it out. I'm like, oh my god, he looks so different. And then I also read that, and I don't remember the actor's name, but he was on that show Chuck. He was the blonde guy who's, again, I don't remember the character's name, but
the one that's on the boat.
Yes, that guy, because that's not the same actor from the first movie, but the one that was playing that character in this movie was the one who was originally supposed to play the character back in the first movie, but couldn't for scheduling or something. Huh?
You're confusing me. And I was like, oh, he's supposed to play him, but then he wasn't playing, but now he's in this movie.
Well, because the one that was in the first movie, I think he's on that show Once Upon a Time or something, so he couldn't be in this movie. So they got the actor that they originally wanted for the role. So that's kind of cute.
Look at that.
Yeah, all comes back around. But anyway, that's
I know potatoes. A little tidbit about that. I read it when I was reading about Tom Hiddleston, but he actually originally auditioned for the role of Thor.
Really?
In the first movie. Yeah, I was like, oh no. You cannot. I mean, they're so entrenched in their roles now, but like, that's what I read that somewhere. I don't know how like true it is, but it said that that's what he tried out for. But I'm just like, oh, Tom Hiddleston like bulking up. I'm like, I don't know how that would work out.
I don't see that.
I don't see that happening. No, I can't. I can't see that happening. So I'm like, oh, thank God.
I do know that Chris Hemsworth, the actor who plays Thor, his real life brother, Gale Hawthorne. No, I mean Liam Hemsworth. I know he auditioned for the role of Thor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, I don't know anybody else that auditioned for it.
Like I said, I just happened to read that somewhere. I don't know if it's true or not, but I read that, I was like, what?
No. So yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely liked it. It was one of the more anticipated movies of the year, I'd say.
Yeah.
And it was good stuff.
I'm kind of sad because we were all summer. We were talking about that, like, oh, I can't wait for Thor 2 and Loki and stuff. And I was here, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of like Christmas, you know? Like, oh.
I know, yeah. But I mean, hey, I'm glad it was good. I mean, I really didn't think it was going to be bad,
right?
But you never know. So yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. And I think it'll definitely benefit from a second viewing.
I think so too. Yeah, because I was like, wait.
Yeah, I did that.
A couple parts,
I said wait
I was like,
what? Wait.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you do see it again, let's fill us in on anything you caught the second time.
You and I should see it together because we saw it separately, and just like how we saw Star Trek. Well, we did see it together the first time. But Star Trek in the Darkness, which is you and I the second time.
That's true. So. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Because it'll be in the theaters for a while, I think. Because they have this weekend, which I don't think anything is big. I think The Best Man Holiday is coming out, but that's not a big movie. And then next week, all bets are off. So,
Catching fire.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, okay. So that was it. I think that's everything.
All right. I think, I look at all my notes, like, I got everything.
Yeah,
Loki
I think I covered everything.
Loki's a star. Loki dies. We're all laughing. Yeah, just
Loki.
Yeah. You're not surprised, obviously.
No, can't say I am. Yeah, there's a lot of eye candy in this movie.
Yeah,
for sure. Just across the board, from the effects to the men to the ladies.
Not that I'm not complaining. I don't have to see it, but you never really see Loki partially unclothed or anything. Like we saw him like with after he was all messy and stuff. But even then, he was like fully covered. Like. Because I saw those pictures of Tom Hiddleston. I know that he works out. Like
he's got that swimmer's build.
Muscles, yeah.
It's because he's so pale. No,
maybe, I don't know.
Well, no, but that doesn't really fit with his character,
right?
Though. Because he's more like Scar.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, and Thor is more like. The football player. What?
Have you seen that thing? It's on Pinterest where, like, I think it was a shot from Avengers, like from a person like watching it being filmed, and it's Chris Hemsworth looking at Loki. I don't know if he's holding a shirt or not, but he's like, nah, like his mouth is open, like he's yelling at him, and they put that right next to a picture of Mufasa going, and Scar going like, oh my god, that's
see,
so true.
Other people see the comparison too. Then that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm not sure if you're going to see Loki shirtless. You might see Tom Hiddleston shirtless in some other movie, but I don't know about Loki. But yeah.
Well, if I try that Deep Blue Sea again, maybe he's well, actually, yeah, I remember because they had him like partially nude in the bed and stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like, well, like, hey, it's
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so funny. I mean, hey, just give me Thor and Idris Elba, and I'm good to go.
And Tom Hardy.
Oh well, yeah, but I mean, he ain't
just
in
talking about
this
movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can throw Bane in there. It's okay.
Yeah.
Talk about
who would you choose, Bane or Thor?
Oh well, Thor.
Oh, okay.
But if we're going with
Tom Hardy or Chris Hemsworth.
Tom Hardy.
Okay.
I love Tom Hardy. Don't get me started. No, but anyway, God, keep going off on tangents.
I know.
Jeez.
I can't help it.
So if anybody wants to, I don't know, give us your opinions on Thor or correct any horribly wrong information
or
we have
yell
here.
at us if we forgot something, like a big plot point, like, dude.
Yeah, what about?
Yeah.
No. Anything like that. You can send us an email, damselsindebate@gmail.com. You can send us one on our website where you can also listen to this podcast, which is just damselsindebate Woo! Our website is not that. It is damselsindebate.com.
Yeah.
Jeez. I'm sorry, folks. And you can also subscribe to us and rate us on iTunes and also on Stitcher. And what am I missing? Facebook and Twitter. Damsels in Debate Podcast. I think that's everything.
Yep.
I hope you guys enjoyed the movie as much as we did. It was a fun time.
Stay tuned for our Catching Fire separate
podcast.
Oh,
boy. That's coming up next week.
Are we going to do that separately, or are we going to do that along with our other one?
Oh, we might do it separately, too, because
Yeah,
this is already...
Because it's a long movie. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
so.
And then if somebody doesn't care about the movie, then they, for all our oodles of listeners.
Oodles, that's a good word.
Oodles, yeah. Oodles and noodles. All right, anyway. All right. hope everybody enjoyed Thor. And yeah, until next time.
Next time.